Toppers, Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back for the 2023 Romania Pro finals, results, reviews, and we have some HD footage here courtesy of More Photo. You can see Samson Dauda here, our winner of the 2023 Romania Pro, but it wasn't like it was a complete landslide. It wasn't like there was any question marks, and when it came down to the final two, I was sort of waiting and watching these guys get nervous. And Samson Dauda was nervous there. And he tapped his chest afterwards to show that he was not 100% convinced. He was like a little bit nervous. He was maybe not going to win that contest, which would have been a hit to Samson Dauda. And you can only imagine the sort of, I suppose, the talk it would have started about where Behrooz would be if he competed in Mr. Olympia. Now, was Samson inside out shredded here? He was not. Shredded, that we all want to see from Samson Dauda. It looks like some people have mentioning in the comments of my live that he looks like he has a little bit of that thick skin sort of look. He does have the sort of separation, and he is so impressive on stage when he moves, and you can see there's conditioning there, no doubt. He's looking out his quad, there's some striations there, but I think people just want to see that dry, hard granite look from Samson, but there is a lot of muscle, a lot of freakiness, and when I saw this video, I was sort of like, okay, yeah, you can see it a bit more in more of his HD stuff, but we can only imagine if Samson was inside out, he's Mr. Olympia, no doubt. Now, this was the man who was closest challenging Samson at this contest in Behrooz Tabani, who was shredded, has some very strong shots. But when you're sort of thinking about what Samson just looked like and what Behrooz looks like, and Behrooz, if he sits on those glutes, if he could pose a little bit more, I don't know, just hit those shots, hit those strengths and hold them instead of doing what he's doing here on stage. I'd prefer him just to hit those glutes, stay in it, unflex and flex them one time, but the sort of shakiness and everything he has going on here, he needs to be able to stay on these poses and not do those sort of hip thrusts, in my opinion. But Behrooz looked phenomenal. You can see there was some tanning issues with his back as well. You can see the skin. Whatever happened with the skin, there's a reaction there or something. He needs to obviously make sure he preps his skin properly and does all the exfoliating and stuff like that. But that side tricep is just nuts. If only he had a little bit more quad, he would be on another level. But even regardless of that, he still looks phenomenal. The quad isn't completely striated inside out or anything like that, but he has so much conditioning everywhere that it is pretty crazy. Now, this is Nathan Diasha, who finished in 4th place. And watching this video, I can see Nathan wasn't at his very best. I believe he was better at some of those earlier shows. But Nathan was shredded like crazy leading into this. And he is obviously very, very lean on stage. It seems like maybe he filled up and maybe there's just a little bit of water underneath the skin potentially. And it sucks for Nathan because we know his best is absolutely crazy and can really battle. He looks super full at tonight's show, whether he tried to fill up more between prejudging and finals. It looks like he maybe could have, but this might have been from prejudging anyway. But he looks actually super sort of full here and filled out, but it looks like there's just that little bit of water there, but you can see the conditioning still there as well. So Nathan, I believe, is doing that Prague Pro, which he'll be up against Mikhail Krizo in that one. And it'll be interesting to see what sort of package he brings to that as well. So looking forward to seeing that. And yeah, Nathan Diasha brought a good package, but I don't believe it was his very best at this contest. And that's why he was relegated to 4th. I personally had him in 3rd place here. And HorseMD, Marcello De Angelis, comes in here. He looks phenomenal in that shot for sure, in the front double bicep. He had some really good conditioning in certain areas. His back double bicep is what really lets him down. This is why I thought Nathan should definitely have beaten HorseMD, Marcello De Angelis. While I am actually quite a big fan of HorseMD, the back shot, the back is, I don't know what happens to it because he spreads out into a lat spread. I don't know what it is, but his back just looks incredibly narrow there and reasonably soft through the back as well. So whatever he has to do to fix that back double bicep, he should do, because that is something once he moves up in shows and he's battling for wins that will hold him back from getting wins, because you see the back's pretty wide there. So I don't even understand the dynamics of HorseMD's back. It just sort of blows my mind. And if you are watching live, drop your opinions as well. And if you're watching on replay, drop your opinions in the comments also. Now you can see Mohammed Foda there on the left-hand side of your screen looking absolutely ridiculous. He was very impressive. There was a bit of a shoulder issue there. Like, His shoulder was a little bit pointy on his right shoulder, but very impressed with Mohammed Foda. He sort of exceeded my expectations, as did HorseMD, and it's rare these new guys come in and exceed expectations. It's really, really cool to see. Now, in sixth place, or at least by the call outs and by everything that went down, who I believe would have been in sixth place, and that is Andrea Presti, who you can see at the right of screen there. And I'll run through these call out pictures as well. But overall, a pretty damn impressive show. I will get to the 212 and the classic physique as well. Seeing your guys' comments. There's the horse, the Brazil flags. You guys are definitely the most passionate. HorseMD had almost a bigger waist than shoulders with Nathan deserved third. Yeah, I had Nathan in third personally. But look, Marcello De Angelis, I don't want to take anything away from him whatsoever because, you know, that rear lat spread looks really good. It was just the rear double bicep. I was like, what happened? So, and also some of these photos as well, it really advantages the guys on the left-hand side of the screen because of where this photo was taken from. If they were walking a little bit forward, you know, things like that. So you have to take that into consideration as well. But Samson Dauda wins. In second place, Behrooz Tabani. In third place, Marcello De Angelis, aka HorseMD. In fourth place, Nathan Diasha. In fifth place, Mohammed Foda. And I believe it would have been in sixth place, Andrea Presti. So that's your results there for the Open Men's Bodybuilding. Super cool contest, super stacked. Really, really enjoyed the Romania Muscle Fest. So shout out to Jake Wood, Alina Popa, and everyone who put that on. And Billy as well, your host Billy. He's phenomenal at what he does. So you can obviously see the HD footage there. And if you missed it at the start of this and you are watching live, you can go back to the start and look at a bunch of those HD routines. But let's move on and let's discuss the 212 class, I believe it is. That come up on the screen, hopefully. If it wants to come on the screen, there we go. So in this class, we had Ahmed Ashkanani taking this one out. I'll get some HD photos up of him on the screen in just a second against the man to his left. His name was Giuseppe. I'm trying to think of his last name now, but he looked phenomenal. Look at those quads, look at that waist, and just look at that overall taper. I personally could have seen him winning and I would have had no complaints whatsoever. Radislav to Ahmed Ashkanani's right there. Can't quite remember his last name off the top of my head, but he was really good, really thickly muscled, really dense as well. But personally, I really liked the shape of Giuseppe there. I thought he looked awesome. Yeah, I thought he looked really, really good. And I'll get a HD picture up of Ahmed Ashkanani in just a moment for you guys. But he looked good. The only issue that I had with Ahmed Ashkanani was it appeared like he had some shots in his lats that were noticeable. Like, you can't actually see them terribly here, but you could see stuff out here. So you can see how that goes down like that. There was some definite funkiness going on, and he lacks separation in his quads, but he is very thick. When he's moving, he's very thickly muscled. Like, he's just walking around and it's just muscle hanging off the dude. I prefer the more shapely physiques, like the rounded muscle bellies and stuff like that, but I understand there's a precedence as to why he won this contest. So I can understand it. So anyway, let's move on to the classic physique. If I can find which one that is. If it wants to pop up on the screen, because we had, oh no, that's the, apologies. Oh, I'll put two of the 212 up. Apologies. I'll bring up my classic physique on the screen. Hopefully I've got that here where Wesley Visses took that out. I'll bring that up on the screen over here. Because Wesley Visses, he looked phenomenal, as he always does. Had some really great shots. Like, his twisting shots were next level. Deserved the win. He was 7th at the Olympia. No doubt about it. He looked really, really good. How much was first place there? $2,000. I just love his look, and I would love to see Wesley Visses go to the Open at some point. Very, very impressive physique, and yeah, well-deserved win for Wesley Visses. Anyway, guys, let's have a quick look at your comments before we wrap this thing up. I'm saying Samson looked a bit tired today. Slight water film. Yeah, a little bit in the finals, I believe. He looked a tiny bit tired at one point, which I never really see from Samson. I'm saying Marcello is destroying his physique, going for weight. Dude could be the next big thing if they manages to keep his waist like it was when he was classic. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll ever have it the way it was when, and he never was doing he was gonna do classic when he didn't. All that. Anyway, some people saying waist size over muscle nowadays. Come on now, go Brazil. This John Nathan's long torso is so off-putting. Plus, he is Xavier's friend, so not exactly unbiased. I mean, when I put a poll up, most people had Nathan. When I put a poll up, who do you think will place third? I think it was 50-something% of people had Nathan, and only low 30% had HorseMD in third place. So I don't think I was being biased in that regard. I had Nathan finishing in third place in my predictions, but hey, it might be biased. Let me bring up the posing of Samson Dauda here. Nathan's lats are so high. Lots of comments. Appreciate you guys, and like the stream if you are still watching live. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this once again. So the results are running over it once again. Samson Dauda wins this contest. Behrooz Tabani finishes in second. Marcello De Angelis in third, aka HorseMD, the big horse. We also had Nathan Diasha in fourth, and we had Muhammad Foda in fifth, when I assume Andrea Presti would have been in that sixth place. Wesley Visses wins the classic, at Ahmed Ashkanani takes out the 212. So thank you guys so much for tuning in all night. For me, at least anyway, most of you guys, it's probably during the daytime. Hope you enjoyed the live streams, the wrap-ups, and all that good stuff. And thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. So for myself, Xavier Wills, this is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.